Tom Holman work for? You or the president?
The president.
Okay. Why is that? Because I believe the president recognized that you weren't getting it done in Minneapolis, and you're putting us further away from pointing to this. We're beginning to get the American people to think that deporting people is wrong.
Lowered expectations. Republican Senator Tom Tillis. Ladies and gentlemen, let's talk about it.
It's the exact opposite. The way you're going about deporting them is wrong. The fact that you can't admit to a mistake, which looks like under investigation, is going to prove that Miss Good and Mr. Pretty probably should not have been shot in the face and in the back. Law enforcement needs to learn from that. You don't protect them by not looking after the facts. Not only should the FBI be investigating it, but every single law enforcement agency in that jurisdiction should be invited to it, so our law enforcement officers do not have this pall cast upon them. One of the reasons why ICE officers are having threats, and damn the people that threaten ICE officers, because so many of them are doing a good job, is because you've cast a pall on them by acting like we should investigate things differently. Officer-involved shootings have a formula that we should go through every time. And we're not going through that formula. As a matter of fact, in Ms. Good's case, I think that they were even saying that maybe there wasn't even a need to do it in the DOJ. I hope that that's changed. But I'm telling you, it was a civil rights review. I saw your frown. You can correct me if I'm wrong. But originally, Blanche said there wouldn't be an investigation. Folks, law enforcement, we've got to have their back. We've got to make it clear when they make a mistake, then they get corrected for it. But you don't walk away from it, and you've done it too many times. Now, Secretary, I read your book last week. And honestly, some of the parts of it impressed me, but some of it distresses me. And I'll give you a good example of one that does. The passage where you talk about killing a dog that was 14 months old. I train dogs, all right? And you are a farmer. You should know better. You should know that if you're going out to a hunting lodge and you're putting pheasants out and you're putting dogs out, you don't take a puppy out there. A 14-month-old dog is basically a teenager in dog years. You decided to kill that dog because you had not invested the appropriate time in training, and then you have the audacity to go into a book and say it's a leadership lesson about tough choices. It's in your book. We could play it if we had time. At that same lunch hour, you killed a goat. And you killed the goat because you said it was behaving badly. You are a farmer. You don't castrate a goat. They behave badly. You should have probably done that before. But my point is, those are bad decisions made in the heat of the moment, not unlike what happened up in Minneapolis. We're an exceptional nation. And one of the reasons we're exceptional is we expect exceptional leadership. And you've demonstrated anything but that in the time that I've seen you responding to the emergency in North Carolina and across the Southeast, and acknowledging when mistakes are made, and speaking too soon for the expedient of social media or whatever it is. I'll leave you with this, Ms. Nome. I'm expecting answers to Charlotte's Web. I requested it a month ago. That was one of the investigations in Charlotte, 20 minutes from where I live. All I asked for, if it had to be anonymized, was information so that I could determine if your hit rate is right. I want to find more of those people, and I want to detain fewer of the others. And Mr. Chair, in my remaining time, I have a lot to go.
Okay, so Kristi Noem, her handling of the Department of Homeland Security and the deportations. I think he said it pretty darn well. You've seen the commercials from her. They're only after illegal immigrants, all that kind of fun stuff, but their actions have shown otherwise. He brings up Renee Good. He brings up Alex Peretti. He brings up Charlotte's Web. I'll talk about that in a second. It's already bad how they're treating immigrants in the first place, or even people who just come over here on vacation. I did another TikTok about that. In this hearing here, though, he is calling for her resignation. He is calling for her to bring up proof that she is doing her job correctly. And most importantly, he is calling for her to hold her people accountable, which, yes, if you don't hold your people accountable, the public won't trust you. As a matter of fact, they will treat you as an enemy. In case you're curious about Senator Tom Tillis, He is not going up for a re-election in 2026. Apparently, that is a lame duck status. He historically has been a supporter of a lot of what our peace president has been doing. But one big thing that started his position being in this status is the big, beautiful bill. Apparently, that is hurting people in his area, North Carolina, specifically the cuts to Medicaid. Our peace president then threatened to primary him out. Happened with Marjorie too, right? Correct me if I'm wrong, but seeing a trend here. But this prompted Tillis to retirement. This puts him in an interesting position where he doesn't have to really pretend to be one of the boys, at least not completely. He can say more of what he actually thinks. And I want to be clear, he's a big supporter of deportations and border walls, right? But he doesn't like the quality of which she is attempting to deliver upon. In a phrase, sloppy enforcement. Indeed. Okay, now Charlotte's Web. Apparently, in November 2025, there was an ICE operation in his home state that reportedly led to the accidental detention of U.S. citizens. Uh, Again, he is calling that out because they are focusing more on arrest numbers rather than actual criminal deportations. We're not talking about people who are just over here illegally. We're talking about actual dangerous people from other countries. Last thought, I really like his example from her book about what she has done to her dog. It shows you very clearly that she's irresponsible. And not only does she not care about the consequences of her irresponsible actions, but she either paints it in a way or sees it in a way where she feels justified in those actions. A dangerous mindset to be in that position. Lowered expectations, ladies and gentlemen. We will see what happens, but I fear the longer she is there, the more potential for such events to happen. Like and share if you like what I'm saying. Comment if you do or don't. Let me know what you think, and I'll talk to you later.